This is Gene Montaristelli, and welcome to the Tapping Q&A podcast, recorded live to tape from Williamsburg in Brooklyn. This is episode 413, originally aired February 14th, 2014, remastered and re-aired December 16th, 2019. Everyone, I hope this finds you well wherever you are and whatever time of day you're getting a chance to listen to this. Thanks for spending some time with me today. Welcome to the Tapping Q&A podcast, where we answer the most common and uncommon questions about tapping and EFT so that you can eliminate self-sabotage and take the action that you want. Today, we're going to be talking about a really simple question that you can ask yourself when you find yourself in a position where you're not taking action. And then the information that comes from this question is then going to give you something really specific to tap on. So it's a tool that unlocks the resistance behind the sabotage. Before we jump into that, reminder that we have created a free 10-part guide to help you to eliminate self-sabotage with tapping and EFT. All you need to do is go to tappingqa.com, click on that big blue button. If you happen to be listening to this in the website right now, just scroll up to the top of that right-hand column, click on the big blue button. And every single day over the course of the next couple of weeks, we will send you another tool, another technique, a tapping script, a video, some text, something that makes it easy for you. It'll take 4 or 5 minutes to execute. But if you take these things a little bit at a time, day by day, it's going to make a huge difference. Tappingqa.com and click on the blue button. And so now let's investigate a question you can ask when you're feeling stuck. One of the things that has come up in conversation from people as they've experienced that is over and over again, they're recognizing things that they really want to do. And for some reason, they're just not doing it. And when working with a tapping professional, you're going to have someone who's going to help guide you on that way. But when you're doing it on your own, sometimes you're so close to the issue, there's no way that you can figure out what's going on and why you're not taking that action. I can see that if I do this every single day, it's going to make a huge difference in my life. I know exactly how to do it. I know how little time it takes. I know I have the resources to pull it off. And for some reason, I'm not doing that task. I'm not doing that task. I'm not doing that task. And typically, when we're so close to it and inside of it, we don't see the emotional blocks that are preventing us from taking action. So for me, when I find myself in that place, and I do the exact same thing with my clients, if you've ever worked with me in a session, you've heard me ask this question a whole bunch of times. And the question is, what would go wrong if I did this? In a couple podcasts back, we talked about the 4 reasons why we don't take action. We don't have a clear vision. We don't know how to do it. It's painful to do it, or it's painful to be successful at it. And so when we ask ourselves that question, what could go wrong if I tried to do this? What that's going to do is that's really going to cut to the heart of that second and that third thing. What could go wrong if I tried? And what could go wrong if I succeeded? Because it might be one or both of those things. I could be afraid that if I try to do this, I'm going to fail because I failed in the past and everybody's going to see me and I'm going to look stupid. Now, that's a really good reason not to take action. Now, it might not be a strong enough reason not to take action, but you could see if part of the system was concerned in that way to move forward, why you wouldn't take action. It's keeping you safe. Or I could take action. I could be successful. Everybody's going to see me be successful, and they're going to expect this from me all the time. Now, if we're trying to do something that's really hard, that's going to take a lot of effort and energy, the last thing that we want to do is create this expectation to the people around us that we're always going to work that hard and we're always going to put that much effort in because it's a Herculean effort to do this, and there's no way we could sustain that over time. So again, it makes great sense why we're not taking the action. Anytime we have an emotional block to taking an action, that emotional block is trying to keep us safe. The problem is sometimes it's trying to keep us safe in a disproportionate way. It's good that I'm afraid of lions. It's bad that I'm so afraid of lions I don't leave my apartment in Brooklyn. So it's a good thing. It's just doing it in a disproportionate way. Or it's misinformed in how dangerous it actually is. There's a part of me that thinks that when people see me fail, that I'm going to die. Now, that might seem hyperbolic, but there's a part of us that on a primitive level recognizes the fact that At one point in our history, in order to survive, we had to be a part of the herd. We had to be a part of the community. And anything that we did that put us on the outside literally put us at danger. And so there's this part of us that's trying to keep us safe, saying, I can't be different because that will lead me to being put on the outside, which will lead to physical danger and possible death. Now, there are very few circumstances that we're going to be in the modern world where that's the case, but that's what's going on. So it's misinformed about what the actual danger is. And so when we ask that question, what could go wrong if I took this action or if I was successful at this action, the information that's going to come back is going to show us very clearly what part of me is misinformed or what part of me is responding in a disproportionate way. And when we do that, that's when it's going to set us up to be successful when we tap on it, because now we have an idea of the place to go in and go after. So when you find yourself in a circumstance where you don't know how to act, or you want to act and you can't simply step into it, ask yourself the question, if I was successful at this, or if I tried this, what would go wrong? And just pay attention to the information that comes up. And that will help you start tapping in such a way that'll move you forward. So you stop sabotaging yourself and you take that action you know you want and you need to.
The question itself is pretty straightforward. All of the information that you gather from that, you then get the opportunity to figure out, is it a proportionate and well-informed worry? And you can then tap on those things. The other thing that I find just by asking that particular question is, by getting clarity about what could actually happen, it makes it easier for me to respond because it's not this fuzzy possible disaster out there, but I know the specifics. And even when the specifics are bad, I can respond to them because I know the actual details about them. If you know someone in your life who would appreciate this quick little audio, please be our ambassador, pass them along. Don't spam your inbox and send it to everybody in the world. But if you know one or two people who could use this, it would mean the world to me. And truly, it is the highest compliment you can pay to my work is if you pass it on to someone else. Please do that, because if we're able to help the people around us, they are healthier, they navigate the world in a better way, which makes it better for all of us. And I know that does sound cheesy, but you know that it is true, that the healthier all of us are, the impact is a big deal. If you haven't subscribed to the podcast, I encourage you to do so. In podcasting parlance, subscribe actually means free. There is no fee to subscribe. It's not Netflix. It's not Disney Plus. It is free. Everywhere you get audio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Pandora, Spotify, and there are another dozen more places that you can find it. If you go to tappingpodcast.com, it will give you all the instructions on how you can subscribe. If you don't know, you can even subscribe to this show on your Alexa device. If you have a question or a comment or something you'd like to see us cover in the future, please let us know. I love getting that sort of feedback from people just like you. Some of the best episodes we did in this last calendar year came from those recommendations. And as always, I can be reached directly, Gene, Gene, at tappingqa.com. For the Tapping Q&A podcast, this is Gene Montrestelli. I hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you real soon. Bye-bye. The Tapping Q&A podcast is copyright Gene Montrestelli, Tapping Q&A 2016. All views expressed by guests are those of the guests and not necessarily of Gene Montrestelli or Tapping Q&A.